Tonight, as the world softens around you, let yourself begin to slow down. There is no rush to understand, no need to grasp. Just allow. You are here, still, breathing, drifting gently toward rest. As your body sinks deeper into the warmth of your bed, let your mind follow. Downward, inward, softer. The sounds around you begin to blur. The air feels a little quieter. Your breath moves in gentle rhythm. Your awareness begins to shift. This is not sleep yet, but it is not waking either. It is a space in between, a quiet opening, where thought can wander without pressure. You are safe here, safe to explore, safe to question, safe to forget for a moment who you're supposed to be. Tonight, we're not chasing answers. We're inviting mystery, not trying to hold reality in place, but watching how easily it slips between your fingers. Let your breath settle. Let your thoughts loosen. Let your sense of self fade just slightly around the edges. You're not trying to sleep. You're not trying to stay awake. You're simply here, and that is enough. In this soft place between day and night, between certainty and doubt, we begin to see clearly. Because sometimes, the quietest truths appear only when the noise is gone, and the loudest illusions only reveal themselves when everything else stops moving. So as you relax deeper into your bed, let yourself wonder something simple. What if your perception is not showing you the world, but inventing one? Not lying, not tricking, but crafting, constructing, projecting. What if what you see, hear, feel, and know is not what is, but only what seems to be? Don't try to answer. Just let the question float. Let it echo softly in your awareness, like a ripple on still water. Tonight, we'll follow that ripple. We'll drift gently, deeper, into the strange ways. Perception shapes the world, not with fear, not with doubt, but with curiosity, with softness, with calm, with wonder. You don't need to believe anything. You don't need to agree. Just listen, breathe, float. Let this night be a mirror. Let it show you not just the world outside, but the filters you carry inside. And as your eyes grow heavier, and your breath moves slower, know this: you are allowed to let go of needing to understand, of needing to control, of needing to know what's real, because sometimes it is in the surrender that the truth becomes clear. So now, as we begin our journey, close your eyes if you haven't already. Let the stillness take over. Let thought become lighter. Let yourself drift. And as you do, we'll begin to uncover the perception tricks that quietly, subtly, replace the reality you think you live in. Welcome to the night. Welcome to the mystery. Welcome to SleepWinner. Close your eyes if they're not already closed. Feel the weight of your body. Feel the quiet behind your thoughts. And now, ask yourself gently, what does it mean to see something? You might say, it means light reflects, enters my eyes, travels to my brain. And that's true, on one level. But there's a deeper level you don't usually notice. You never see the world directly. You see a processed version, a version filtered through your eyes, decoded by your brain, shaped by memory, by context, by belief. And it happens so fast, so seamlessly, you never realize that you're not perceiving reality. You're perceiving your interpretation of it. Right now, even in this moment, if your eyes were open, you'd see a room. But what is that really? Is it a collection of atoms, of photons bouncing? Or is it a mental construct, built out of labels, learned ideas, visual shortcuts? You see a chair, not because the object is a chair, but because your brain recognizes it as one. Strip away the concept, and it's just shape, just texture, just color, just light. It's the same with sound, the ticking of a clock, the voice in this video, the wind outside your window. They are not sounds until your brain makes them so. They are just vibrations in the air, tiny waves, meaningless until decoded. So here's the trick, the first perception trick that silently rewrites your reality. Your brain fills in more than it receives. You don't just receive data from the world. You invent meaning. You project coherence. You hallucinate consistency. That's not a flaw. It's a feature. It's how you survive. But it means much of what you see isn't really there. Let's go deeper. There's something in neuroscience called predictive coding. It suggests your brain is not passively observing the world. It's predicting the world moment to moment, and only correcting when it's wrong. Imagine walking through your house at night. You already see the couch in your mind before you reach it. Even in darkness, you expect it. And often, you perceive it before it appears. That's not because your eyes saw it. It's because your brain guessed. And that's what it's doing all the time. Not receiving input, but generating expectations. Then checking. Was I right? So perception is not just a window to the world. It's a loop. A dance between guess and feedback. Between imagination and correction. And here's the twist. Most of the time, your guesses win. Your brain is so efficient at predicting reality, it barely needs to be corrected. So you don't just live in the world. You live inside your expectations of the world, inside a simulation, built by your own mind. Let's slow it down. Take a breath. Feel the edges of that idea. You're not broken. You're not defective. This is how every human works. It's how perception works. But knowing it changes something. Because if your brain can show you a world that isn't there, if it can fill in, edit, and invent, then what else has it shaped? How many moments in your past were altered, simplified, or softened? How many memories feel solid, but were stitched together from fragments and feelings? You'll see a photo from years ago and remember the moment perfectly. But what you're really remembering is your last memory of that memory. Memories get rewritten, not maliciously, just quietly, like waves smoothing a shoreline. Over time, the details blur, the colors shift, the meaning changes, and yet, you trust it. You say, I remember, as if it proves reality, as if it settles the question. But what if it doesn't? What if every memory is just another perception trick? One that replaces the past with something easier to carry? Just like your brain fills in missing information from the world. It fills in missing gaps in time. Just like it filters the edges of your vision. It filters the edges of your identity. You are not just perceiving the world. You are becoming what you perceive. And every time you see, you also become the kind of person who sees that way. This is not a flaw. It's not a glitch. It's a miracle, a mystery, a quiet magic. But it also means this. You can't always trust your eyes. You can't always trust your thoughts. You can't always trust what you think is real. Because realness is not a thing you find. It's a thing you construct, piece by piece, moment by moment, dream by dream. And if your mind is building your world, then whose world are you living in? Let's begin again, softly, slowly. You are lying still, but your mind is moving, drifting past the edges of what you thought was true, into the strange, silent machinery that builds your world. So let's ask, what is an object? A cup? A tree? Your hand? To your senses, these feel real. They have shape, form, edges. They stay consistent. But perception tricks play with consistency. They create illusions of permanence. There's a strange experiment in developmental psychology. It's called object permanence. Babies, very young ones, don't understand that things still exist when they're out of sight. Cover a toy with a blanket, and they think it's gone. To them, out of view means out of reality. But here's the twist. Adults still rely on object permanence, but now it's just assumed. You don't see the moon right now, but you believe it's still there. Even when your eyes are closed, you trust your world continues. But how do you know? Because your mind has built a model, not of what is, but of what should be. You carry a mental simulation, a ghost version of your world, filled with assumptions, expectations, predictions. The chair is still behind you. The door is still to your right. Your phone is still on the table. But these are not truths. They are mental commitments, a kind of perception loyalty. So here's the next trick. Your mind replaces presence with belief. You don't just perceive what's here. You also perceive what you believe is still here. You extend reality past your senses. And in doing so, you blur the line between what's real and what's remembered. This becomes even stranger with people. You think about someone, and in your mind, they still exist in the world. Even if you haven't seen them for days, months, or years, they become a kind of mental object, a concept, stable, predictable. But are they? Or is your idea of them just a memory, frozen in time, painted with the colors of your last impression? You don't perceive them. You perceive your version of them. So every person you know is someone you've constructed, reinforced, maintained. And if that version is built on false memories or faded interactions, then how real are they? And if you are also just a perception to others, a mental object, filtered through memory and bias, then who are you, really? Pause here. Feel the softness of that question. Let it echo. Who are you? Are you the person you feel you are, or the person others think you are? Are you your memories, your actions, your body, or are you a shifting set of perceptions, updated each moment, built from fragments, held together by attention? And what happens when no one's looking? If a person is a collection of perceptions, and all perceptions are shaped by attention, then who are you in the moments between? This is the third trick of perception. Yourself is an object built in other minds, and your idea of yourself is built on that. You look in a mirror and see what others have seen in you. You think a thought and judge it based on what someone like you should think. But that judgment, that inner voice, that identity, it's all shaped by perceived expectations, social feedback, internalized reactions. So you become a version of yourself, optimized for the eyes that watch you. But those eyes aren't real. Not now. Not while you lie still, eyes closed, falling asleep. Right now, there's just you, and the space behind you, and the thoughts that drift in and out of awareness. So who are you now? This leads to the next layer, the hallucination of continuity. Your mind tells a story of you, of someone who's always been here, thinking, deciding, acting. But neuroscience shows there is no central self, no single watcher in the brain, no one place where it all comes together. Instead, there are modules, networks, competing processes, each taking turns, each creating the illusion of one smooth consciousness. And yet, it works. You feel like you. You remember your name, your desires, your struggles, your dreams. But what if that feeling is a trick? What if your mind is stitching together fragments and giving them a narrator, like a story told after the fact, with a main character who was never really steering? What if you are not the observer, but the narrative the system creates? A useful fiction, a thread that ties the moments together, that doesn't make you less real. It makes you more mysterious, more strange, more beautiful. You are not a thing. You are a process, a wave, a movement of awareness through time. And like all waves, you rise, you crest, you fade. So don't be afraid. This is not erasure, it's revelation. You are not a fixed self. You are a flowing self, a becoming. And every moment of perception is a choice, not to see the world, but to let it pass through you. Now let us go deeper, past perception, past memory, into the layer where reality itself is assembled. Because the world you move through, the one you see, hear, and feel, is not raw. It is interpreted, filtered, named, and the act of naming is one of the greatest tricks of all. You see a shape in the distance, a long neck, 4 legs, and brown spots. Your mind instantly says, giraffe. Just one word. Simple. But in that instant, you lose the mystery. You stop seeing the shape, the movement, the uniqueness. The word has replaced the thing. This is called linguistic compression. Your brain can't handle the chaos of raw reality, so it simplifies, packs rich experiences into symbols, categories, words, and then it believes the symbol is the truth. This is the 4th perception trick. You mistake the label for the experience. The moment you call something love, or anger, or me, you have named a storm, and tamed it, flattened it, made it easier to hold, but harder to feel. Reality becomes smaller each time we give it a word. But here's the deeper twist. Words shape thoughts, and thoughts shape what you can perceive. There are languages that don't have words for left and right. Instead, they use cardinal directions: north, south, east, west. For speakers of those languages, they always know where they are. They think in orientation. They perceive the world in alignment with the earth itself. That's not just a difference in vocabulary. It's a difference in reality, because the words you use change what you can see, what you can remember, what you can even imagine. So now ask yourself, what realities are you blind to? Because you lack the words to describe them. Are there feelings that you've never noticed because you never learned to name them? Are there versions of yourself waiting in silence because your inner language won't let them speak? This is the soft edge of a radical truth. You don't see the world. You see the world your language lets you see. And this world is constantly being replaced. Your brain doesn't store reality like a camera. It rebuilds it. Every time you remember, you reconstruct. Each memory is a fragile thing, rewritten by the present, painted by suggestion, warped by your current mood. This means the past you carry is not what happened. It's what your brain believes happened, and what it needs to believe to make the present make sense. Perception works backwards. You don't just interpret now through the past. You also interpret the past through now. So if you feel lost today, your memories of being on track might fade. If you feel unloved now, even your happiest memories can feel fake. Your present rewrites your history. This is the next level of the trick. Reality is not just filtered by perception, it is constantly replaced by it. And the more confident you feel, the more likely it is that your perception is lying. Let's pause here. Breathe. Let that settle. You are not broken. You are flexible. Your mind is not malfunctioning. It's adapting, building coherence, making meaning. But this flexibility can be turned against you. Companies use it, governments use it, algorithms use it. They present you a version of the world, filtered, framed, repeated, and slowly your sense of truth begins to bend, not all at once, but gently, through familiarity. You start to accept the shadows on the wall, because they've always been there, and you forget to look behind you. This is the final twist of this layer. The more familiar a lie feels, the more likely your mind is to believe it. So perception becomes a feedback loop. What you focus on, you believe. What you believe, you notice. What you notice, you reinforce. This is why change is hard, not because reality is fixed, but because your perception of it is self-protecting. It doesn't want to be disrupted. It wants to feel stable, consistent, predictable. But in doing so, it hides the truth, because the truth is not fixed. It is fluid. It is uncomfortable. It is free. You are not what you were, and the world is not what it seems. Not entirely. Not ever. But that's not frightening. That's liberating. Because if your reality is constructed, then it can be reconstructed. Not just once, but always. Gently, deliberately, lovingly. Not to find the truth, but to live closer to your experience, to the raw, unspeakable present, before the labels, before the tricks. Right now, you are resting in the space between illusions. You are noticing how your mind creates the world. And quietly, you are waking up. Now that you've come this far, let's slow everything down. You've seen how your mind filters the world, names the world, reconstructs the world. But now we reach the final trick, the deepest layer, where the question isn't just what you perceive, but who is perceiving. Let's begin gently. Close your eyes. Let the quiet come. Feel your breath moving. Feel the heaviness in your arms. And listen to this simple sentence. You are not who you think you are. It's not a riddle. It's not philosophy. It's a direct observation. Because right now, you might say, I am thinking these thoughts. I am hearing this voice. I am lying here, trying to sleep. But pause. Where is the I? Can you point to it? Can you feel its shape? Is it your body? Is it your thoughts? Is it the voice that's commenting on all this? None of those are you. They are happening, but they are not you. The final perception trick is this. You perceive a self, but you don't need one to perceive. Think about that. There's awareness. There are sensations. There are thoughts, emotions, memories. But there is no solid thing behind them, no fixed core. Just experience unfolding, just life happening, just this. And yet, your mind insists on building a you, a narrator, a center. Why? Because it gives comfort, coherence, control. If you are a solid self, then you can protect it. You can improve it. You can fix it. You can save it. But what if there is nothing to save? What if you are not a solid object, but an open process? What if the you talk about is just a pattern of stories, repeated beliefs, habits of thought, narratives strung together? To hold the illusion of identity? Not a lie, but a construction, not false, but fluid. And this leads us to the calmest, most unsettling truth of all. The self you protect might not exist. Let that settle, not as fear, but as freedom. If there is no fixed you, then there is nothing wrong with you, nothing to fix, nothing to perfect, just awareness, just breathe, just being, no one watching it, just it. Right now, you can stop running. There's no identity to maintain, no past to uphold, no future to control. There is just this: the hum of silence, the stillness behind your eyes, the soft pulse in your chest. You are not outside of life. You are life. Not a character in the dream, but the dreamer itself. Not a point of view, but viewing. And suddenly, the world becomes lighter. Not because you solved anything, but because you stopped holding everything so tightly. There is nothing to be. There is only being. And now, we come to the end, but not a conclusion. Because this isn't something to conclude. This is something to remember, to return to. Whenever the world feels too heavy, whenever your mind begins to tighten, whenever you forget what's real, just pause, breathe, and ask, what is being experienced? And who is experiencing it? Then let the question fall away. Let the answers dissolve, and rest in what remains. Not a story, not a label, not a thought, just stillness, just presence, just you. Or rather, just this. Good night. You're already home. Let yourself drift. Let yourself rest. Reality can take care of itself.